Well, all aboard the Love Boat. Jimmy's Diary's back. He's back with a brand new act. I haven't done a diary piece for about, I don't know, 2 years now, something like that. Don't know why really. I was fishing some quiet waters. I thought it was cool not to do it. But who cares? I like to showcase everything that I do. I like to show other people. So here I am, it's back. I'm here with a new chap. This is Barley, completing his life jacket. Must just say I have got a life jacket under here, or a flotation aid even, but it's quite cold, so I've got a jacket over the top. But that's obviously a mega important thing to start with. But just to get you updated with my last 2 years fishing, I was lucky enough to catch a real big common and a new PB over at Hope Lake, which I was very, very pleased with. It was, off the top of my head, just under 48 pounds, just about. And what an incredible carp that was, Tyson. That's probably the last time that you saw me in a diary piece. Since then, I've been targeting a place near Cambridge, and there's a series of gravel pits there, and I've managed to fish one that's about 65 acres, sort of the last year and a half, and I've actually finished on there now, because I think I've caught what I wanted. I was lucky enough to catch some really old gnarly things, some commons over 40 pounds, and that was topped by a mirror in the spring at 44. It's a real old dinosaur. And I was lucky enough to have an incredible time on there. It was only shallow, so there was a lot of boat fishing. Me and this boat have pretty much gone everywhere on this complex. So yeah, that was absolutely incredible, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Jobs-wise, I've changed jobs. Obviously work for CC Moore now in the marketing, and really thoroughly enjoying the position. It's very different to what I'm used to, and it's great. The products are great and I love it, so I'm pleased with that. Well, you find me today on a smaller lake on the complex. This is probably 20 acres, something like that, but it's gin clear, really weedy, and there's only 15 carp in here, so they're pretty hard to find. I set myself like a little autumnal campaign on here, managed to catch 3 of the specimens, so I was pretty lucky, and it was pre-baiting and just getting down here all the time, checking it out, finding where they were, getting them feeding on certain spots. I found that they were feeding on silty areas rather than the pure gravel, sort of the areas where there were just little flecks of gravel coming through the silt. They'd just started, were just starting to get harvested, and I made those spots through hard work, through constant feeding with seeds. I was up here sort of every other day just hammering it with seeds. And that was getting carp, tench and everything grubbing around, lowering all the weed, digging in the silt, and eventually they were becoming clear. I then started to target it with boilies, and it worked really well. That's a tactic that I used on the other lake, the larger lake, and I've had an incredible year really. Some of the best carp that I've ever caught, even though I haven't like beaten a PB or anything, they were incredible. To me, any carp out of a place, as old as this, as old as they are. It's funny, that 44 pounder that I had, a friend of mine actually caught it out of this lake in the 90s at 30 pounds. And I obviously caught it out of the other one at 44 when they were transferred. So it's got a few stories to tell, that carp, and yeah, I'm well pleased. But the last few weeks I've dotted around on here. I've been down for a session with Maury. So yeah, it's been a great start to the diary session, so I'm going to let you see it now. Well, it was on a rather damp, dreary, autumnal day that Ian Moore and I targeted this lovely 4-acre venue set in some of the most beautiful southern countryside. The autumnal leaves were covering the banks, and we just had to get over there. It was chucking it down with rain, mild, the perfect carp fishing weather. Because it's silty, we started with pop-ups. I targeted them with the chod rig, and also a hinge on the other rod as well. That was just on a smoother bit of silt that I'd found just with a bare lead. We set up at must have been around 4 o'clock, got the rods out perfectly. There was a little bit of dying weed, but not a lot. It was set for a real epic session, or so we hoped. Anyway, time soon went on, the rods were out, and it was time for a quick cup of tea, whilst watching the water to see if we could see any activity. The afternoon soon closed, and we went to bed full of anticipation, because this lake holds some very special carp. Well, it's the morning after what I thought was going to be a really eventful night, but it was very, very quiet. But quite literally, just as I was opening my eyes, this rod ramped off. I've got a nice little mirror waiting to be photographed, so I'm well chuffed with that. I'm not sure about Mr. Morrow. He had one pretty late on last night. We've also sacked up ready for photos as well. It was a lovely common. But other than that, I'm not sure whether he's caught anything else. But this rod's ready for a recast now. I've put a fresh, nice sharp hook on the end. A new bait, a new tuna. As you can see, that's just attached to a little helicopter rig. It's really silty here, so I've just popped that bead up. And yeah, I'm going to flick it back out there, because you never know, there might be a few fish about. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, what have you got there, mate?
Well, check out this little beauty. I don't know, it might be 14 pounds maybe.
What a lovely looking fish, isn't it?
Certainly one for the future. It's a corker, isn't it?
Fantastic colours.
Lovely scales. Look at that little row of 10 scales at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Stunning, stunning little carp.
What a belter, mate. When did you have that this morning?
It is. Yeah, at first light. It was on a, what was it on? On a tuna, on a hinge stiff rig.
Beautiful.
Just in a bit of the silt, smoother bit of silt really.
Yeah, fantastic little fish.
I've obviously been eating as well, because that was over about 10 to 15 pouch full.
Yeah, lovely.
Fulls of bait.
It's fantastic scales. Lovely fish, mate. Well done.
Go on, mate.
Unbelievably, just as I was slipping that fish back, Ian had a bite, and I did shortly after that. We found ourselves hooked into 2 more very special State Lake carp. These fish just aren't any old fish, they've been in here for a long time. They're scaly ones, big commons, all sorts. Anyway, eventually we both netted 2 more State Lake fish. And as you can see, we were very pleased. I had one with huge apple slice scales, and Ian had a hefty common in the net. We were over the moon.
Well, check out that one. If you use the word apple slices for scales, I think we'd use it for this one. I took this one on a bright yellow pop-up, a northern, on a choddy, fished about sort of 30 yards out over a load of scattered tuna, and this was the reward. Absolute belter. The weather couldn't be any better. Really mild, drizzly, overcast, and we're catching a few.
That's a fantastic fish, mate. Well done.
Unfortunately, Maury's making us go to work shortly. we'll take that, eh, mate?
Yeah. Superb, mate. Well done.
Right, let's get her back. Lovely, mate, eh? Lovely fish.
Yeah, 1912. Scale perfect.
It is, isn't it?
Fin perfect, yeah. Fantastic.
Minter.
Real grower.
Beautiful mouth.
Yeah.
Magnificent, mate. Lovely. And you've got an even bigger one waiting as well.
Yeah, yeah, happy days. Yeah, just a lovely looking fish.
There she goes. Yes, Ian, lovely.
There she is, look at that.
What a corking carp.
Scale perfect. Just looks fantastic. Lovely shape, lovely dimensions. Immaculate. The mouth is absolutely fantastic.
What was that? It was an equinox, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah, that one was on equinox this morning.
Pop
Actually,
up?
probably half an hour after a recast, so
Was it?
just on the right spot.
Yeah.
And away it went. Just lovely.
You're combating the silt a bit with a load of stinky bags, aren't you?
Yeah, sort of trying to make the bags really kick up a bit.
Yeah.
Using equinox, sort of like a new bag mix we're working on actually. Going to release next year. Putting quite a bit of nice attraction into it by using the equinox dip.
Yeah.
Letting that dry in so it doesn't get too claggy, it breaks down nicely, and the fish just seem to be right on it really quickly.
So stinkier the better in this heavy silt.
That's right, yeah.
Nice.
Stands out like a beacon.
Lovely carp, that, mate.
Love that, hey? That's what we come for, mate.
Certainly is. Right, let's get her back.
Yeah.
Go to work.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, we're just coming to the end of the session at this beautiful little lake, and just reflecting on our session, it's been pretty eventful. We've only done a short overnighter, just in between work. We've got to go to work now, it's mid-morning. We got here yesterday afternoon, and with nothing to go on really. We didn't see many fish showing, well, we didn't see any fish showing. So the plan was to fish either end of the lake. It's only small, it's only about 4 acres or so. Just to cover as much water as we possibly can and sort of work it out from there really. If one of us caught, the fish were clearly down one end. If the other one was catching, you know, maybe the other one would move. It actually turns out that both of us have had a few takes each, which was a right result. So clearly the fish are a little bit spread at the moment and looking for food. So yeah, we got the rods out, fished. I fished in 3 different areas, just spread boilies over the top. I wanted them searching round, really working hard for each bit of food. I put 2 troddies out and a hinge, spread boilies over the top. I put quite a bit of tuna out there last night, the tuna boilies that is. And I fished 1 on a bright one and 2 on match the hatch, and I had a take on a bright one and a take on the tuna matching hook bait. So they weren't taking anything in particular. Maury's done fairly similar tactics, but he's fished live system and equinox, so they're just searching out bait at the moment. They're really hungry fish. Look at the weather, it's warm, it's mild, it's a bit drizzly. It couldn't get any better conditions wise, and unfortunately we've got to leave, but I'm pretty happy. I've caught one of the older fish, lovely scaly chap. I mean, the scales, they were like huge apple slices. It was an absolute beauty. And then one of the newer fish as well, which was just as gorgeous. They're stunning carp in here. And obviously Ian's caught a couple as well. Biggest one of the trip, over 20. It was 22, I can't remember, 22.10. But it was an absolute breeze block of a common, and they really are corking carp in here. And I wish we could stay today because it's absolutely ideal. But I'm pretty happy for the first diary instalment to have been full of fish. Yeah, a great session, and I'm going to be smiling at our meeting at lunchtime, and I might even buy Mauro some lunch if he's lucky. But yeah, we'll catch up with you next time, and hopefully I'll have some more fish to show you. But yeah, see you soon.